Hello, welcome to Janet's Kosher Kitchen. Today we are going to be making grape nut banana bread. This is a recipe taken directly from America's Test Kitchen. The first thing I do whenever I prepare an item is I preheat the oven. Today the oven is going to be preheated to 350 degrees. I prepare my loaf pans. These loaf pans are 8-inch loaf pans, and I spray them liberally with Pam and get my ingredients together. So we have 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of sugar, 1.5 cups of grape nut cereal right from the box, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs, 1 cup of milk with 4 tablespoons of oil. I already mixed that together, and 4 overly ripe bananas. The more ripe the bananas are, the better the bread will taste. So the first thing that we're going to do is whisk all the dry ingredients together in a large bowl. So the flour, the sugar, the grape nuts, here's our baking powder, 2 tablespoons, and a tablespoon of salt. And I'm going to take my whisker and whisk that up so it's nice and even. These grape nuts are really good in a banana bread because they give you a little bit of that crunch that is so nice. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put this aside because it's all whisked together. Off to the side. And I'm going to take my overly ripe bananas. I have mushed them up, and I'm going to add my cup of milk with 4 tablespoons of oil into that. And I'm going to mix my 2 eggs also. Again, I always put the eggs in a glass container so I can make sure that there are no blood specks in them. And I'm going to mix this up. I want to make sure that the egg becomes completely incorporated into this mixture. Once this is done, we're going to add it to the dry mixture, and we'll be ready to put it in the pan. Okay, that looks good. We pour this into the dry mixture, and I'm going to use my rubber scraper to mix this up. This is a nice recipe in that you don't have to have an electric mixer in any way. It's just a rubber scraper and a spoon, and you can do the whole thing. We're going to be baking these for 45 degrees. I continue to keep an eye on it to make sure it doesn't get overly done. And I do use a toothpick to stick it in to make sure that it comes out clean. Because sometimes things like banana bread will look like they're done on the outside, but the middle will still be a little bit raw. So this is an important step to have when you're making banana bread. Scrape it away from the bottom to make sure you get all that flour incorporated. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to take my prepared pans and divide this up into the pans. There you go. And once they're in the pan, they will be ready to go right into the oven, and they'll bake for 45 minutes, and then I will be back with you to finish them up. Yeah, these look great. So in the oven they go. And I'll set my timer for 45 minutes. Hi, welcome back. The timer went off for 45 minutes. The banana breads look great. They're nice and browned, just the way we want them to be. Now I'm going to take my toothpick and stick it in to make sure that they're really done. And look, there's no batter on the toothpick at all, which means that they're done. And I'll do that on the other one as well. No batter on the toothpick. So these are done. I'm going to let them cool here for a little while before we take them out of their pan. So the banana breads are all cooled off. I cooled them on the cooling rack, and now they are ready to be sliced. So I just take a sharp knife and slice it through. And look at that, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm just gonna take a little bite of it. Mmm, delicious, crunchy, done. They smell great. But they are fun.